Hey Steve, it's Glenn. I just wanted to sort of do a video walkthrough of what we're trying to accomplish here by letting you demonstrate the Build-A-Belt program. So I wanted to sort of walk through how it's supposed to work, and maybe that'll make up for, or at least give you a chance to see how Build-A-Belt's supposed to work, and give you a chance to, I guess, interact with it through how I am interacting with it. So first thing we've been doing is logging on to fennerdunlop.brainkeeper.net. So I'm just going to log in with my username real quick. Alright, and when we get into BrainKeeper, you should be familiar with this interface from our previous emails. First we're going to hover over our workspaces, choose Build-A-Belt, and go to Browse Workspace. Now here we can see I've got, when it loads up, I've got a list of all of the current Build-A-Belt files located here, and then I've also got a list of our comments, or the things that we're going to be working on in this next edition of Build-A-Belt. But you can see we've got this Build-A-Belt source file.zip, and you should be able to go ahead and download that. You can click on it, and it should take you directly to this page where it's got this green arrow button pointing down, Build-A-Belt source file.zip. Now, I understand that when you downloaded this and tried to run it, you got a bunch of errors, and IT was trying to help you get through that and work with it. So I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but like I said, I'm making this video so you can sort of see how it should work. So if I were to download this file, it's going to take a few minutes, so I would rather just sort of show that I've got it already downloaded on my desktop. And when I open that file up, or that folder up, I get a folder that sort of looks like this. Here we've got some the Build-A-Belt program itself, some of the splicing images that Akiko was helping me with, and some additional files that are going to help us run Build-A-Belt. So when you double click on this, it causes this program to open up. Build-A-Belt is now running inside of Access 2007. And since this is the source file, all of the tables are open. We could go in here and look at some of the different tables and see that yes, there is some data going on behind the scenes. So here we've got some belt strength, we've got the core diameters, and things like that going along with the strength number. It is sort of what's going to drive the whole program. Alright, in order to run this, the first thing that you have to do is go up here to enable macros. So we click options. It says macros can be dangerous, but this program is trustworthy, so you can say enable this content. So you go down and enable the content and hit OK. Now we can log in with Akiko's username. So I type in the first few letters, and the password is belt, and then I can click login. You have successfully logged in, and this is going to be the point that you haven't seen yet. So we click on Build-A-Belt. It's going to open up a new form, and I could make this form, stretch it out a little bit bigger, but for the purpose of recording this video, it'll be a little better quality if I use a smaller screen. So some of the things that we do here on this form: first, you're going to say who is this belt for, what project it is, a conveyor belt ID. Now, I don't know what all of these fields mean or how Fenner Dunlop is going to use them, but in working with Akiko, she sort of said that this is how she wanted the form laid out, and these are the fields that she requested. So the first thing we have to do is choose which belt we're designing. We can design up to 3 different belts. So I'll click on belt 1 here, and you'll see that this next group gets enabled. Next, we have to choose our design method. One is free design, which is right here. Free design is going to use a series of calculations and formulas in order to populate all of these fields right here. Standard is going to look up in these tables that we've got over here on the left. So let's try to move the form over a little bit. When I choose free design, it's going to enable these boxes for me. If I were going to choose standard, it would enable the other guys. But for right now, I'm going to do free design. Next, I choose a factory. These are the 3 factories that Akiko has given me data for: Bracebridge, Perth, and Port Clinton. I'll just select Bracebridge for right now. And then we have to choose whether we're designing using English or metric measurements, and I'll keep it as metric for right now. So some of the test data that I put in, I say that I want a belt that's 1,000 strong. Its width is going to be 1,000 millimeters. And I'll look up a cord diameter of 5 millimeters. And you can see as I start to piece these things together, the rest of these fields sort of populate themselves. We've got an actual ST number, which is going to be higher than the one that we've requested, which is good. We don't want to design a belt that's weaker than what we want. Things like belt width are going to stay the same. Whenever we input something, we want something that is no less than that value. And it automatically populated the rest of the cord pitch, number of cords, working tension, and even the edge rubber width. So we'll scroll down and try to access the rest of the parts of this form. Here's the different types of rubbers that we can choose. A good one for an example right now would be DNX. And notice before I make my selection, core is going to be blank. I choose DNX, and that automatically populates that is a standard core rubber. So then I could match it and put DNX on the bottom. If I wanted to, Akiko said that there was a rule. I think Fireboss may do this. Let me check. If I click Fireboss, no, Fireboss doesn't do that. I'm trying to remember a good example of one. Matchless. I think Matchless will do it. Nope. One of these guys is automatically going to change it into the flame resistant. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure on all of Fenner's materials. But there you go. You can see CSA automatically changed for the top and bottom to match, and it also updated that is not a standard core, now it's a fire resistant core. I can put in our thickness measurements, 10 and 15 millimeters. I'm not going to fill out all of this data. I will fill out our belt length, which